saying welcome
Can you
back.
see us? Yes.
Podcast number 26.
26.
Oh, wow.
We're making our way. Who said we weren't going to last this long?
Nobody.
So
We said we don't care, even if nobody watches us.
Well, first of all,
I don't have a shirt because Judy doesn't like me and she didn't buy me one.
that is so not true. What happened? This is her shirt. I left mine at home. and then she said this was choking. You see?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't wear t-shirts. If you notice, I always wear something like Scoopy or V-necks.
Yes.
Because I don't like anything that comes up too far. I feel like I'm being choked.
Scoopy.
Right.
I like that.
Well, wait. Before we get too much further,
Yes, the
I'm
scoop.
Judy.
I'm Carol.
And I'm Peggy.
All right, we
Yes.
have to do that.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And yes, the people are appreciating it. And we actually have audience members
We
today.
do.
Why don't we get name tags?
I want like a little
Or hats with our name on it.
placard in front of us with our names on.
Oh, we have enough stuff
Yeah,
on this desk.
Well, we specifically have a lot today because today is going to be all about Irish.
Stuff.
Except for this, did anybody hear about the Mexican president seeing like a
Yes.
mythical woodland creature?
Yes, you know what? I was looking at the wrong part. The knob of the tree under it, it looked like Groot from Guardians of the Universe.
It was
but then I
really
looked
creepy.
up and it was creepy looking.
What do you think about it? That was really kind of
I
freaky
didn't get a
looking.
chance to look at it that closely.
Oh, I
because
have it on my
I was
phone, yeah.
preparing for this, but
I thought it was an interesting picture, and hey,
and what do you think?
kudos for him to post it. I mean, at least he's got the.
See, at first I thought this
balls
was
to
what
kind of put
I
it out
was
there and
looking
see
at.
what
he-
Then I noticed that's what I was supposed to be
So
looking
where
at.
could people find this picture if they want to see it?
Wasn't
Really
it on-
not on my phone.
Not on her phone.
It's well, they,
Was it
what he,
NBC or Yahoo?
That's-
NBC News. What
Yeah.
he thinks it is, it's in a Lux, A-L-E-U-X-E,
I never
which is
heard of it in a Lux.
apparently a
Like a Sprite or something.
like a wood
yeah.
sprite.
Yeah.
Like the eyes are so creepy.
Very
Yeah.
creepy. Anyway, I just thought here as we're getting ready to talk about our Irish
Yeah, you got
facts
Mexican.
and everything. I had to
Yeah.
start it off with that just to
Yeah.
throw a little curveball.
Wow,
So I don't know.
that's wild.
What else you guys want to talk
Well,
about?
I sent you, speaking of Irish, about the Ireland is bursting proud after red carpet chat.
Yes.
And that was about
How come you didn't
Paul
send it to
Mescal.
me?
You were on the email. You were on.
Oh, it was an email?
Yes. Yes. And
No shirt, no email.
That's right.
I sent it, yes. So it's from, he was at the British Academy Film Awards, and it said, for a man whom the BBC had erroneously identified as British only a few weeks before, it was quite a moment. And
Oh,
so
I
he,
actually read that.
yeah.
How old are you now, Peg?
Gee, I wonder why. Okay. All right. And his the 2-minute interaction posted on Twitter has been viewed 1 million times, well, probably more by now, and set off a conversation across Ireland about the state of one of Europe's endangered languages. Now, is that something that you were familiar with, that being an endangered language?
Yes, yeah. Well, it's something that there's still parts of the country that do speak, predominantly. My understanding is, I'm not an expert, please,
Right.
Gaelic, but it's something that they are trying to encourage their younger generations to speak more regularly, and not just in school, but to do it more conversationally.
Right.
And so
That's crazy. And it says, while Ireland, I didn't know this, while Ireland was occupied by Britain, speaking Irish was often punished, which I had
That's
no
true.
idea.
Yeah.
And then when Ireland signed its constitution in 1937, after gaining independence in 1922, Irish was designated as the national language, with English considered a second official language.
yes.
So that's so interesting. So I just thought it was ideal for our conversation today.
Yes, actually, my niece, I have a niece and my nieces and nephews. They learn it in school. A couple of them go to I think it is a predominantly Irish-speaking school where they have to learn their languages and repeat them in Irish.
Oh, okay.
Peggy, can you read that?
It says the Irish have a phrase: "Is fear galage briste na Barria Cliste,
Right, yeah.
which translates to broken Irish is better than clever English, an idea that Mr. Mescal has come to embody.
So, yeah, now, have you learned any of the language at all?
Only, I do take a little bit of it on Duolingo.
I forgot to do the music.
That's okay. The
That's
last
all
time
right.
it interrupted was
No, but
like,
it was a nice beginning.
Do you want to hear my answer?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'd
I-
love
Okay,
to.
yeah, there. I do a little bit of it on Duolingo.
Oh, do you do?
Yes.
What did you do?
Nothing. So, but anyway, how about you? Do you do some Irish on Duolingo?
no, I don't do it because I'm doing the Spanish right now, and now I want to do a little French because we're going to Paris
Right.
next fall. But when I was a kid, my dad didn't speak Gaelic, but he knew some Gaelic because he used to pretend that he was 100% Irish. That was. And when we did our family secrets, that all came out. And I remember one thing that, and I can't remember what it means. Idea Dennett, he used to say. It was a phrase, and now I can't remember what the heck it means or even if I'm pronouncing it. But I do know slancha.
Oh yes, which we can use.
That's right.
Now,
That's
actually.
right. I know.
What does that mean?
It means cheers. It means health. Actually, it
Happy
means
health.
health.
But I mean, that's what they do.
But
when
that's
they
their
cheers.
cheers thing,
Yeah, that's what you say
slancha.
when you.
Yeah.
And we don't have any wine today.
No, but let me just, because soon it will be St. Patrick's Day in a couple of weeks here, and I wanted to bring beer. But these ladies, I like Guinness, and that's the beer I drink.
Yeah.
But these ladies were like, no.
Oh my gosh! No. She's lying.
No, but
I didn't say
wouldn't
no.
drink
I
it.
said I wouldn't
Yeah,
drink it.
exactly.
I would
And
taste
even
it.
people I know who like port, a lot of them don't like Guinness.
Wow,
those are.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
No.
So what are we drinking here now?
So anyway, we're going to do Irish coffee. So I
Okay.
wanted to give a little background to Irish coffee.
All right.
Okay, so it was invented in the 1940s by Joe Sheridan. He was a chef at Forns Port Air Base in County Limerick. And legend has it that Sheridan first served it to a group of passengers on a very frigid night while they were waiting for a delayed flight. And then eventually an American travel writer, Stanton Delaplane, brought it to a bartender's attention in San Francisco, and the bartender traveled. He liked it so much that he traveled all the way to Ireland to this air base to meet with to get the proper technique from Joe Sheridan to serve. So in order to qualify to be Irish whiskey, it must be produced from malt, grain, and barley, and distilled and aged and bottled for a minimum of 3 years, and it has to be produced and bottled in Ireland.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds, there's blended styles, and they suggested in this, I think it was history.com or something, to use a blended whiskey, not a single malt, whatever they are. So there's different variations on the recipe, of course, as there are. You can make it with Bailey's cream, or you can make it with the Irish whiskey. So I bought Jameson, and I bought Bailey's Irish cream.
Now, my father-in-law makes a really strong Irish coffee.
Yeah, I don't
very
really
strong.
I don't like whiskey, but I'm gonna taste it. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I think I've had it before, so that's the background to that. So I'll go get the coffee.
Sounds
you
good.
guys are in charge.
Have you had Irish coffee?
I have.
Do we have room to
some
put
music?
the cups?
Yes, we have room. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I'll be right back.
So what are we going to do? Are we going to choose which one we want?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, you can choose which
So
one
do you
want.
have
The
any?
chieftains.
Yes. Do you have any Irish music in your house?
Oh yes, actually we oh yes, we do.
I forgot.
We haven't drank. I was going to say an embarrassing story, but we were supposed to go to an Irish concert on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But we just never made it there, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh.
But it was we have a lot of we try to go introduce the girls to
You
it.
have a can of whipped cream in your fridge.
This is so
I do?
Yes, you do. Now we found where the whipped cream went to.
Okay.
And then, as you know, my husband is Irish, and he's from Ireland, and he plays the bagpipes, and
Yes.
so he's starting his. So we always have Irish music when he's around at home because he practices a lot.
Right.
And in fact, he'll be in a parade tomorrow. This whole month, he'll be in parade starting.
Where's the parade? Well, they won't get to see
No,
it.
but tomorrow's a Bethpage, and then the following he'll be doing one every Sunday. So we'll go and follow his band around, and it's a nice time of the year to see him in his kilt and hear the music. So
Very cool.
it's really cool.
Well, I bought this, the Chieftains, ages ago, and the reason I bought it is because the very first person on it is Sting.
Tell everybody why that's significant, Carol.
Because I love Sting. Oh, wow. All right, so we're going to stop the music.
Yes,
now that
it's
Peggy
right
is here.
There's yours.
Okay.
You
so-
want me to prepare yours here?
What kind of coffee? Is this just regular coffee, Peggy?
regular coffee.
Regular coffee.
I kind of find it hard to believe that Irish coffee really wasn't a thing until the 1940s. I suspect
Well,
that's not true.
I did read something else. No, that was.
Because I would think it would be natural for people to pour a little something in their coffee.
Well, maybe they did, but they didn't call it Irish coffee. Maybe
right.
they just, gave themselves a little boost. But this is
this
just
guy's
what I
taking the
read.
credit for it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. At least he's Irish.
Okay, at least.
Okay.
At least.
At least. At the very least.
Did I bring the cream in?
Nope.
What did I do with it?
So while we're waiting, do you want me to do a little trivia?
Sure.
Or do we want to talk more about...
Well, do we want to talk
I'm
about
here.
books? Irish
Oh, books?
So
Okay.
you want to talk about this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I want to taste it.
Okay, well, we're going to taste it.
Okay.
Oh my God, everybody's a little tense today.
Okay, so now you can have it two ways.
All right.
Do you want with the Baileys or the Jameson?
Baileys.
I don't particularly like Bailey's, so I'll try the Jameson. But not too much Jameson.
And let me smell
No,
it.
you'll like this.
But I like Baileys too.
Well, you could do it both ways. I bought both of them so we could taste it two different ways.
Okay. Well, somebody's ready for
Okay,
her.
so you want the Jameson?
But not too much.
All right, you want like a half a shot?
Just half.
Okay. So that you add in your shot of Jameson, everybody. Then you take whipped cream, and you're not supposed to whip it too much because it should slide off
So don't whip it good.
the spoon. You want extra whipped cream?
Yes, please.
I knew she was going to say yes. Okay.
You good?
Yes, that looks good.
Okay. And Carol, what?
Baileys, please.
Baileys, please.
See, this is separate from my wine that we're doing.
That's right. It's a lot more expensive than wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want the whole shot?
Oh, sure. What the heck?
So far, so good.
Okay.
All right.
Get you
I don't
some.
like Bailey's at all.
Yes. That's plenty.
That's plenty?
Yeah.
You're nuts.
No, because the
Anya?
Baileys.
I want half a shot, thank you.
Of what? Jameson or Baileys? Baileys?
You're a regular little bartender.
Yeah.
This is good.
And a lot of cream.
And this is homemade whipped cream because we couldn't find whipped cream.
I had a can. I bought a can to make it easier. I bought the heavy cream with me to put in. We made Irish potato leek soup.
Oh, and what we
So-
also had made was Irish soda bread. I
Do you
make
want some
Irish
of
soda bread
You made
every
that.
year,
It's
and
delicious.
I brought some, and I thought we would have some to put on the table, but we didn't.
Oh, what, the soda bread?
Yeah,
Well, hey,
that was really
it
good.
didn't make it to the
You
show.
gave it away. You
Oh, we
gave
gave
it.
half of it away.
I have the
About a
rest
quarter.
of
There was
this.
only
I'm
about
gonna
a
use
quarter
the
left.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that was fine.
Very, very true.
But
So
I'll
yeah.
make more. I make about
It's very good.
3
Savannah likes
dozen
it
of
too.
them at least every year. Probably
3
more.
dozen. How many
Yeah.
do you make at a time?
I do 4 loaves at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how long does it take for? Does it have to raise or anything or no?
No,
Oh no, you don't need.
But
yeast.
it just bakes about an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, all right.
So
I'm gonna do.
How am I
I'm gonna do
going
the
on?
Jameson, but I'm gonna also do like a half a shot because
Okay.
Oh, but
I'm
Carol,
not a
hey, it's really
whiskey
good.
drinker. Is it good?
Yeah, I like
Oh, maybe I'll like it now.
I think you might like this now.
I
Do you
need
have
more
enough?
cream.
Oh, you don't
I have plenty more cream out there.
Oh, okay. All right. They're using my little turkey gravy boat for St. Patrick's Day. Hey, we're out
I love whipped cream, as you can tell. I'm a big whipped cream user.
This is quite distracting.
Okay.
Also, my
You should
kids,
move it away.
also, my kids are like texting. Okay.
Okay.
I've already tasted
So
it.
anyway,
Sláinte.
sláinte.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
What does that mean?
Health. Cheers, health. It really means health. This is good.
This is
Isn't it
what I
good?
like. Do you want
Yeah.
to taste mine?
This is really good.
Taste mine.
Yeah, then taste mine.
Okay.
It's really good. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, you are gonna like
You
it.
do, because you like whiskey. I
Yes.
don't, and
Yes.
I like it.
No, this is
I'll,
good.
I'll sip it out of this side.
This is good too.
I'm getting a lot of whipped cream.
No,
Well, go ahead. You have to
just
tilt a little more.
tilt it
Just slurp it in there. Slurp it in there.
Chug, chug,
You're
chug.
making a mess.
Well, you told me to slurp.
What do you think?
I like mine better.
No.
I like them both.
Do you want to taste?
Yeah,
It's
but I
good.
don't like it.
No, but you're gonna like that. I think you're gonna like it. It's good.
We can't convince you.
No?
No, it's too sweet.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
I don't even sweeten my regular coffee,
No,
but I
this
like
is,
it.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. Oh, I like it. Okay, I'm very pleased now. I'm glad
Excellent.
that I bought this.
So here we are.
Jameson and Bailey's.
A little separate from our usual wine.
Yeah, so
Is
nice.
this the right cover, Katie? Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So we had a nice. All right, a good. Should we move on to the book then?
Yeah,
A little bit?
sure.
All right, so I didn't finish my book that I was going to read for today, but
Excuse me 1 second. Anya, did you taste it?
I love it.
You love it?
and you had the Jameson, right?
I had Bailey.
No, she had the Bailey's.
Oh, okay.
I like the Jameson better actually
Me
than the
too.
Bailey's.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
See,
So,
Kyle doesn't know what he's missing. He could have come today. I'll be right back.
I know. I was hoping my husband might have jumped, but we just couldn't make it work today. The scheduling and all of that, but that's okay.
Another time. We'll be
time.
here next St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. But so the book I'm going to talk about today is another book by Tom Phelan. This is a nonfiction book. It's called We Were Rich and We Didn't Know It, which I love, and it's basically a memoir of his Irish boyhood. He grew up in Ireland.
Carol and I did an event with him for that
You
book.
sure did. And I talked about one of his
Other books, yes.
books, a fiction writer, his fiction book, Lies the Mushroom Pickers Told Us, and that was my first book that I read about him, and I loved his writing so much that this is his most recent book. It came out in 2019, I believe, and so I wanted to pick up some more of his books and read it. Now I haven't finished it. Right, it's 2019 by Galley Books, and it's written very short chapters, and it's just kind of like snapshots of his, people in his life, events in his life, and just so it makes it kind of easy to put down and pick up, put down and pick up if
Oh,
you
that's
just can't
good,
read
yeah.
it continuously. I can't, he grew up in the countryside, a very rural community, brothers, sisters, his mother and his father, a farming community as well. But I love the way that he can write about some things that are just so simple but make them so important as well, and the way his language is beautiful. Like really, I really can't get that. I wish I would have, I haven't finished it, and that's just my fault because I just didn't do much reading this week. But really a truly gifted writer, and it's better to hear really from him than from me. But this is right in the book. The chapter here is called The Jubilee Nurse, and he's writing about Nurse Byrne, who was kind of like the woman who delivered, just like the go-to woman in the community. Like she was in charge of everything. Somebody would get hurt, you call Nurse Byrne. A mother was going into labor, she delivered like 3 generations worth of babies. She was just this kind of tough exterior. Even the birds were afraid of her. Kind of like kind of no nonsense. And there was a scene that just made me laugh out loud, is where she had to go over there, and a farmer had injured his scrotum because climbing over barbed wire fence,
Oh my!
which is what she apparently happens a lot over there, you know, and, you know, she's just like, you know, all right, you know, drop your pants, you know, and he's like, the farm's getting like, all like, no, I don't want to do it. He goes, nah, nurse, sure, I'm too shy to show you my bag, you know, and she's like, mister, she'd reply with hands on hips, you don't have a bag, you have a scrotum. And I see scrotums hanging out of dogs and bulls and asses and horses every day. There's nothing special about yours. Take off your trousers and stop thinking your scrotum is any better than a stray dog's.
You did a good Irish brogue there.
That was my attempt. I just thought I was cracking up when I thought it. And then, you know, very short, but he tells you in a matter of, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages talks about her, right? But he brings a snapshot of her life through then to the end of her life. He goes, when she died, it was as if a mountain had been moved off the horizon during the night. The cock robins of the town once again swaggered in the domain that had been hers for 40-odd years. Most of the babies she had pulled out were at her funeral. Very succinct and very powerful in the way he writes that. And then another one, I love when he's talking about his parents, two very, you know, very different parents, but they seem to have had a very respectable relationship with each other. And he wrote in this one called Love Rich Shyly, which I just love, and he says, Dad showed his love for ma'am, in many small and silent ways. Later in life, I came to understand that his attentiveness to her was love rich shyly.
Love
Rich shyly.
What is Rich Charlie?
Ritz, like wrote shy, like, you know, shyly. And then let me finish the rest. Dad was always taking care of Ma'am. Before going to the fields, he renewed the freshwater bucket in the kitchen and filled the turf box. He washed the potatoes for the midday meal. He picked cabbage from the garden and cleaned it. He cut pieces off the preserved side of bacon. He did all the farmyard chores, including churning the milk, and when we children grew big, he delegated those jobs to us. On Saturday nights, he was half the team that washed and scrubbed the bodies of the children and inspected their hair for living creatures. Besides eating turkeys for the Christmas market, Ma'am did farm work only in an emergency. Even though she had milk the family cow when she was a child in Dairy Colony, Dad did not allow her to do this. In his mind, a milking woman was married to a lazy and thoughtless man.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that like, and it reminded me of a story you told years ago about your father. When we were at the poetry, we were doing a book group. We had a book group years ago. Carol did one. And you had read a poem, and it reminded you, or you said something, a story about your dad, how your dad would get up very early before anybody else in the house. You want to tell? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure which one you're telling me.
But it was like I always remembered how your dad got up before anybody else in the house, and he would light the fire in the house. Yeah. And I thought that's love rich shyly. Yeah. That you don't have to be demonstrative and say I love you all the time. Right. But those are ways people kind of overlook that. And and he writes that wonderful book. He was actually doing a book signing today, which I wanted to go to.
She came here
but I had to come here. Tom Phelan, they made me. And so that I look forward to reading more books. I have more of his books, but I think he's a really good contemporary writer that I hope gets a lot more attention. And I have nothing in this. I just love the way he writes.
Well, that I have to ask, what other Irish writers do you enjoy? Are there Irish writers that you?
I think I just reviewed the book, actually. I did a couple of podcasts of Maggie O'Farrell. Oh, yes. And now I want to go on and read her other books because it was very good. It was instructions for a heat wave, and it takes place in Ireland and in England too.
So interesting.
And it was very good. So, and she has several other books. So.
Now, have either of you read Maeve Binchy?
Oh my God! I used to read her
Circle of Friends.
I used to read all of her books.
And that was made into a movie too. Circle of Friends.
I saw
Has anyone ever read Ulysses by James Joyce?
No, I would never. I think I started it once when my brain was young,
but I have read, and it's one of my husband's favorites. And it's funny, one of my favorites, and this was before we knew each other. It was Dubliners by James Joyce.
I
think I read that. I read
wonderful book.
Dubliners and
and what about Peggy and I did a number of events with
Yeah.
Malachi
Malachi.
Yeah.
and Danny Boy is this, and I wish he were younger. I don't think he's doing any other events, but
He's
I would
in his
love
90s.
I would love to have him because I think
He did.
was-
He did a quote here on the book, Malachi McCourt.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he
Oh.
really did.
So I'll maybe do this, and then I did 2 events with his brother Frank McCourt,
Yeah.
for Angela's Ashes.
Yeah, I met
And-
Frank too.
And Tiz, and
That's right.
yeah, and these are 2. And I don't know if anyone saw the movie Angela's
Yes.
Ashes, but
Oh.
very
The
depressing.
book was very good.
Yeah.
So I read the book when it first came out.
So those are just 2. I just wanted to share some Irish
Absolutely.
authors, but I do look forward to reading Tom's books as well.
Yeah, no.
But
very, very
look,
good.
and I'm downing this. This
Excellent.
is so good.
Well, I was, like I said, we just wanted to do something for Ireland,
Yeah.
Irish history, or because it is St. Patrick's Day coming up,
And it's such a, it's funny because St. Patrick's Day, I was reading about it, it's celebrated all over the world now.
Well,
and
yeah.
all these countries that really have nothing to do with Ireland, but it became such a big holiday because now it's more a secular holiday than it used to be a feast day.
Right, like a religious.
Yeah.
But there are so many Irish people in the world, even more so. I mean, I looked it up census-wise, and this is old data, like from 2020, so obviously it's different now, but in 2020, there were 6.6 million people in Ireland itself.
And how many? No,
6.6 million. And
Okay.
yet in America alone, 34.7 million people claim some sort of Irish heritage.
Yeah.
And so and their influence is everywhere. And you thought you were Irish. I didn't think I had any Irish.
Well, I am
ancestry.
Irish, but I'm not. I
You thought
thought
you
I
were
was
more.
100%
Right.
Irish,
Right.
on both sides of the family,
Right.
but I'm not.
And I grew up thinking I wasn't Irish at all. And then when we did our ancestry, we have Irish ancestry on both legs of
Yeah.
my family, my mother's and my father's.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
of course I married an Irishman. So
Yeah.
now we're
Yeah.
even more Irish.
Yeah, well, I found out from my DNA I'm 53% Irish, 25% Scottish, and I think 4% Welsh, or 2 or 4% Welsh. So combined,
You have.
yeah, you
Now,
had that.
do you have any Irish?
I do have some Irish. I have no idea.
Okay,
how
so
much.
I mean, this shows
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
But I compiled some bit of facts, and I just wanted to start with talking about St. Patrick himself.
Yeah.
Now, do you know that he wasn't really Irish?
Yes.
He was born in England, actually,
Well,
Britain.
They in Britain
Right.
they believe he was born to Roman parents in
Right.
either Scotland or Wales, but my husband says it was probably not Scotland due to Hadrian's Wall because of Roman influence.
Yeah.
The
okay.
invasion couldn't really get past that part of it. So, and then it was Irish pirates that brought him into slavery around 432.
Yes,
And he was there for about 6 years, and then he escaped back to Britain, and then he returned to Ireland as a missionary.
Right.
that-
When he
right.
went back to England, I read that he was a Christian. His father was
Right.
a Christian deacon, and while he was in prison, he used to tend the sheep. So he
Yes.
spent a lot of time alone, and he got in touch with his Christianity. And when he went back after he escaped, he walked 200 miles to get back.
Right.
He walked. And then he studied Christianity, and then they sent him to Ireland. And they said that they think he's like two different people. They think that he's somebody else. Palacios, or say he was a bishop, a Catholic bishop.
I
And they think
heard-
that's who he really was.
I came across an old name. I'm not even going to say it because my husband says don't say that name online. And I was like,
really?
yeah. He goes, but the legend has that his name was something else, but that he took the name of Patricius as a priest, which is where
Patricius. Okay.
Patrick
Yeah.
comes from, I guess. And that he was affiliated, I guess, with the color blue originally, and then so the color that was really deemed his color. And somewhere in the
Right.
16 or 1700s, 1800s, it came to green because it was then green was associated with the clover, the shamrock, with nationalism. Yeah,
because that was during the Irish Rebellion.
absolutely.
And the soldiers, the Irish soldiers, used to wear green to distinguish themselves from the redcoats. The
But they
British
put
with the reds.
wear a shamrock.
Yes.
Which, do you know what the shamrock symbolizes?
The Trinity.
Right, and that
Yeah.
was another legend that St. Patrick used the shamrock to teach Irish people about what it was the Holy Spirit was.
Right.
You know, the difference, and that, you know, now it could be symbol, not Holy Spirit also, but hope, faith, and love.
Right,
you know,
right.
and then if you find that four-leaf
Fourth one.
clover, there's your luck. Your luck.
And also on the
Yeah.
thank you, Savannah.
And then,
On the cross, he also he used the cross also. There was the Celtic
Savannah.
cross. He put the sun on it. The sun on the cross is the Celtic cross. So he wanted to incorporate Irish culture with the Christianity to make it easily accepted because they were pagans.
Right.
The Irish. They
Is that what you got?
no, I didn't even go there. I'm listening to it, but it sounds
yeah,
good.
and then of course the shamrock he used to teach the Holy Trinity. So.
And what I think is kind of cool, and you know, we have here in America really big Irish St. Patrick's Day celebrations in the country.
Does
And
Oyster Bay have a big parade for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, I think that they do. I know
do you
Rockville Center does.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Glen Cove, there's a lot of
Yeah.
towns that have really big ones.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Bayshore has them as
Yeah.
well.
I don't know if Oyster Bay has one. They have one
Yeah.
for everything else.
But up until it was a religious celebration in Ireland, so it was a dry holiday. So up until the 1970s, really, it was a dry holiday. It was only in the 80s when somebody realized, you know, hey, there's a lot of it's becoming popular around the world. We can
Right.
make a lot of money, tourism dollars. Hey,
Yeah, I
and
read
let's do
about
it
that
way,
too. And they said it was frowned upon to drink on it. You were supposed
Absolutely.
to abstain from
You were supposed
drinking
to abstain from-
alcohol
but
that makes
because
sense.
it was a feast day, not a secular celebration. And
Absolutely. And then the whole thing with corned beef and cabbage.
But better.
Corned beef and cabbage is not
it's American.
right. It's not an Irish, but that's not what they eat.
Did you eat
in
a corned
Ireland.
beef? Any of the corned beef sandwiches I made?
I just ate all the sandwiches.
Yeah.
I
don't even eat corned beef.
No, it's not, and that's
And who
because when Irish immigrants came to America and they needed to feed them, feed their families affordably. You know,
Right.
a lot of the delis too in America were owned by Jewish people,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
corned beef is
Exactly.
a popular meal there, and that's how it became to be known here, at least, as a corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah,
as a
they
traditional
said in
meal.
Ireland they ate bacon and cabbage, and then when the
Pork, yeah,
immigrants
pork,
the immigrants came over here, as particularly in New York City, we're talking about. They lived, like in the ghettos, and that's where the Jewish population was, and they used to buy the brisket from their Jewish neighbors, from locally.
Now, when I was trying to look up parades, I got a whole bunch of conflicting information, and so
Oh, okay, we'll compare.
We'll compare, yeah. So, what did you find? Could you find what the oldest parade was?
What I found was the first parade was in Boston in 1737.
Okay, no, I got St. Augustine, Florida, but I didn't write down the year.
Oh.
No, this one here because there were so many Irish in Boston.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even today, there's still. I wrote this down. Boston has the largest percentage of Irish Americans of any U.S. city, while New York City has the most Irish Americans in raw numbers because
No
we're
way.
just a bigger city.
So did Niall go to Boston initially?
Yes, yeah. Well, him and I met in Boston.
Well, exactly,
Yeah,
but I
so,
didn't know
yeah.
if that's where
He immigrated to Boston.
He immigrated to Boston. Yes, he did immigrate to Boston, and that's where we met. Was in Boston.
Right,
Yeah,
that I
right.
knew, but I wasn't sure if that
Yeah.
was okay.
But he wanted to come here. Actually, he
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to come, and
Come
it's
to
a
New
funny
York?
story. Yeah,
I
and
know,
so his
yes.
sister Anne, thanks Anne, she convinced him to go to Boston instead of New York.
See, it was faded.
It was, yeah. So, because one of his good friends were living in New York at the time. Owen.
Yeah,
so-
but I had the Boston 1737.
I should have wrote down the date.
And then they said,
And what about the biggest parade?
I'm sure that's probably New York City.
See, I
but
got New York too, but then I got Boston in more research.
Oh, it's
but
very possible.
I thought it was, but then I was doing this research with my husband too, and then he came up too with Chicago. So I don't know.
Chicago's another very
Chicago,
Irish place. Yeah.
So I don't know, but
And then I have down that the Irish are 5.3% of the population of New York City. And you know what the most Irish town in New York is? I never even heard of it.
Irish town in New York.
Yeah, the most Irish town in New York. 52% of the residents claim Irish ancestry, according to the census. It's Pearl River in Rockland County.
Oh.
They probably have a big parade there.
Now, have you ever been to the St. Patrick's Day parade in the city?
Oh God, yes,
Boston.
years ago.
Not in
years
New
ago,
York,
yeah.
but now maybe marching in it next year. So
cool.
yeah, maybe we can go to it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
So you went a lot.
No, I didn't go a lot, but I went a couple of times when I was younger. You know, when I used to just go into the city, and I worked in the city too. So
in Boston, they have St. Patrick's Day is also Patriots Day, which means it's a holiday. And so,
oh, you mean for the football players?
no, not no, just it's a state holiday. So I loved it because I used to work for the state in Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and so I always got the day. You always got St. Patrick's Day off.
Yeah,
Which is great. So
I found a little trivia fact about St. Patrick driving all the snakes out of Ireland.
Oh, yeah, which is not
false.
true.
It's not true.
Right.
They said that Ireland never had any snakes.
Or very little.
Yeah, and it had something to do with the Ice Age. I was reading about it, and the glaciers, and plus it's an island, so it's cut off from other land. They said there never were any snakes there.
All these myths get started.
Now, there are 32 counties in Ireland, the whole of Ireland. 26 of them make up the Republic of Ireland.
Okay.
And 6 counties make up Northern Ireland, right? And so what I like is interesting. I hear it too, because I wish he was here. You could hear my husband has a brogue, right?
Yeah. And the very first time he talked to me, it was on the phone. And he got off the phone after, I guess we said goodbye, and I said to Judy, I don't understand.
Thank you for saying that, because my husband, when he met me and he called me up and he asked me out, I was in class, all right, so I went to voicemail, and he left me this voicemail, and I had to listen to this voicemail so many times, and then I passed it to my friend Stephanie. I said, listen to this. I go, is this guy asking me out or what? I'm like, I don't understand. It took me so long, and now I can completely understand him.
Right.
But it's true that but the accent is different every county you go to.
Oh, yeah.
And you can tell, and now I'm getting a bit more of an ear of it now as I become more traveled in Ireland.
Right.
But so when we'll see certain actors or actresses on TV, my husband could be like, oh, she's from, Kerry, she's from Cork, she's from Northern Ireland or something, and now you can hear
In
it.
England is like that too, depending, and in the United States it is too.
Well, yeah.
Each state, you listen, when I meet somebody new, they'll know that I'm from New York because they can tell from my accent.
Right.
Or, like you go down south, you have that drawl down there, and out west. I don't even know how to describe it.
No, it's just, but I had heard, and I think it's fascinating that actors and actresses, I came across some research, find that replicating an Irish accent is very, very hard to do.
Oh, wow.
To do it correctly, and that true Irish people can pick up what is not. Like, you all thought my stupid attempt of doing an accent was good. It would be destroyed, by somebody who is really, from Ireland. It's very difficult
I
to
thought
do.
it was good.
Oh, thank you.
And another thing about St. Patrick that I found out is he was never canonized.
Oh,
he was never canonized because he died in the year 460, and they said they just didn't do that back then. But he does have his own feast day, and he still is considered a saint, but they never canonized him.
Well, here's a fact. Do you know who the most famous, or probably one of the most famous Irish Taoiseachs, prime ministers are?
Irish what?
A Taoiseach, a prime minister kind of a Taoiseach.
Oh, okay.
Was not even Irish, was American and from New York, was Eamon de Valera.
Oh, okay.
There you
All
are.
right.
There you are. You didn't come across that fact.
No, I didn't, but that sounds familiar to me.
See that?
Now,
How
when
long ago
was that?
Yeah.
Don't ask me dates.
Oh, no dates.
No dates.
I'm gonna Google it. I know,
See,
really. It's very
Okay,
important
but we
research.
can. I know. This is my Friday night research. But I've been to Ireland. I'll be going back again, and I know I keep saying you guys have to go.
I
but
know.
if I had to describe,
When are you going? In April?
No.
Oh no, that's right. You're going
Yeah,
in
go somewhere else,
August.
yeah.
Okay.
Is it's such a it's a beautiful and a resilient country. The
Yeah.
people are as well beautifully resilient. I mean, from all that they've gone, you study their history and just to see where the landscape that they've made and carved out livings from and all that they've been through.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they're
potato famine.
oh, but that'll
Yeah, that's when everybody
yeah.
came. That's how we ended up with so many Irish over the
Irish,
year.
yeah.
So.
But it's such
Did you
a
ever
beautiful
kiss
place.
the Blarney Stone when
Yes,
you were there?
I
You
did. I
now
did.
you have to hang upside down.
I have a picture of me. Oh, I should have brought the picture of me. Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh, I gotta show. Yeah, that was years ago. When I went in my early 20s, you know, and
Yeah.
I did that way before I knew my husband.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
When my mom
Yeah.
went, she wouldn't do it. She said, "I'm not doing that," because you know she was the older woman. She
Yeah.
was
Right.
probably in her 70s when she went. So
I'm going to try to bring the girls there this time,
Yeah.
because they would like to do that. But yeah, no, that was fun. I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's touristy things to do.
did you go
but
to
even that-
Trinity? Trinity Library?
Yes, and we just went
so
this
beautiful.
in November. I brought the girls to Trinity College too. It's
yeah.
beautiful there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's so much to do, and
I know.
the people are so beautiful and kind.
Even
no
in
matter where you
Dublin,
go.
like if you go to
Yes.
Dublin?
Absolutely.
Because if I go, like I don't want to have to drive there because that will just be too stressful to me. So I figured if I go, I want to go to like Dublin and Shannon, like stick to the city so that I don't have to drive.
Well, you know what you could do is you could take tour buses too. They'll have like those
Yeah.
day tours, and you could do something like that. Or
Okay.
come on, we're going, and I'll drive.
Yeah.
Because it's really not that big. It's not that bad to drive on the.
I
other side
heard
of the
that
road.
I heard that the roads are terrible there because my nephew did it.
When?
And, not too long ago, because he went and took my sister and his whole family, and Nora said, "Oh my God, it was terrible."
Well, so, some of the I did do when I was looking up facts too. I said I'd like to talk about some of the common misconceptions that people
I heard
have
that.
okay.
That I
about
want,
Irish.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's what I want.
the number one, because I researched this, was that Ireland is a bunch of drunks.
Yeah,
Irish people is filled
Yeah.
with, and they are not actually.
Yeah.
They have very. There's a lot more European countries that have a lot higher percentage of alcohol drinking populations. There's a lot of
All those wine countries, people start drinking very young.
France is up
yeah,
there
France
too,
and Italy.
you know. But there's
Yeah.
there are very strict laws on when you can buy alcohol. You know, and you can't buy alcohol on certain days after certain times. You can't drive a car with any alcohol in your system, period. And if you
wow.
do, you lose your license for good.
Oh wow!
They're very strict with their driving, drinking and
yeah.
driving. And even though the drinking age is 18, but they're very strict with that. Plus the bars close very early. You think you're gonna go to Ireland
Yeah.
and party all night here? No, the bars close at a pretty relatively decent hour to serve
Wow.
alcohol. And so here in America, I'd say it's a worse problem than over there. The other one I heard is that it's a very religious country, and because of Christianity, and maybe at one point that would have been true, but it's now becoming, it's at a very fast rate, very secular.
Yeah.
And a lot of that had to do with the child sex abuse scandal and the refusal to accept, the acceptance or
abortion.
apologies.
Oh, okay. Didn't they make abortion legal there too in Ireland a few years ago?
They're way
did,
ahead
and
of us.
that was a shock.
And they're much more open to same-sex marriages
Yeah.
there. And at least I even know too is like you could have if you're baptizing over there, you could have two same-sex people be grandparents over
Wow,
there.
that's
Here
unusual.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
So they are becoming much quicker, open, more secular. Third one is that everybody there just has red hair, right? No, that's
Yeah.
not true. Now they do have the largest percentage of red-haired people in
Yeah.
the world, with 10% of their population with red hair. The second closest one is Scotland. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
so but no, it's so they have brown, brunettes,
Yeah.
blondes, all of that. Don't ever make the mistake that they are part of the UK, because they are
Oh,
not.
yes, I know that.
And that doesn't go down very well, so
Yeah,
they are
no.
not part of the UK. Now,
They just made an agreement with the European Union. I think
Yeah.
it just happened.
Yeah.
So that they can trade freely now
Yes.
With Northern Ireland,
That
because
was in today's
it was
paper.
creating chaos
it was
over
creating,
there
it was not
for
going
the past
down
7
very
years.
well.
Yeah.
And now Northern Ireland is part
Yeah.
of the UK, but the rest of Ireland, the majority, the Republic is not. And the term "fighting Irish," that they're all a bunch of people, they're drunks and they fight and they're quick to temper. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that in any way, and I've drunk with the best of them, and it's,
When the bars were open.
yeah, and bars are open, but definitely not. But I mean, I think that came more from the American side because of the 69th Regiment, the Fighting
Yeah.
Irish. That's the
Yeah.
term, which was a regiment of Irish immigrant soldiers who fought for the Union during the U.S. Civil War, and that term has stuck. And then that was
Right.
adopted then by Notre Dame,
yeah.
and all of that. So, but I do also have a trivia. Do you mind?
No,
I'm going
no.
to give you 3 statements. You tell me which statement is true.
Okay.
Okay, and only one is
Only
true?
one is true.
Only one is
All right?
true.
And this is about Ireland.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. All students must take at least 1 year of traditional Irish language in school. I'm sorry, not Irish. I'm sorry. That's 1 year of traditional Irish dance in school.
Dance.
Dance. Like the.
All right, we
Irish-
start over again.
All students must take. I can't read my writing. That's right. All students must take at least 1 year of traditional Irish dance in school.
Okay.
2. The government of Ireland bestows a set of bagpipes to all of its citizens upon reaching their 50th birthday. 3. Ireland has won the Eurovision Song Contest more than any other European country.
Eurovision?
Yes.
I didn't know what to do.
That's
I'm leaning towards the dance one.
That's what I was leaning towards.
So
too.
I don't know what Eurovision
our
is.
audience-
Eurovision is kind of like an American Idol contest, kind of a big thing. But
Oh, okay.
Do you have any idea?
A.
A, the dance?
Yeah, I'm going with the dance.
Anya says Eurovision. She's really writing trivia.
And she's right again.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes,
You get a free shot of Jameson!
absolutely. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
My niece Katie, when she was younger, did Irish dancing, and now her kids do. They do
Oh, okay. But
Irish dancing
that's
and-
not required.
No, it's not required. Although my mother-in-law still does her Irish dancing.
good.
She goes
Oh,
out
must
all
have
the
good
time.
knees. Woo.
She's got good everything. She's great.
Irish
She's
some-
got a birthday this month too.
Oh, happy
okay.
birthday.
Happy birthday. I read an interesting fact about. I don't even know if it's true. This was years ago I read this. It might not be a
That may not
fact.
be true.
It might be.
Do you work for Donald Trump? Fox News.
All right, it may not be true. I mean, I took it as fact, but I don't remember what the source of it was. But it was the reason, you know how in Irish dancing their arms are always
Yes.
down?
Right.
That was because it used to be illegal to do Irish dancing. The British, when they were in charge, it was illegal.
heard that
And
too,
they
Peggy.
said that so that they couldn't see that you were dancing, you were only moving your feet, like if they looked in a window.
I
And,
heard that.
Yeah. So
Wow.
ask Niall if he
I
knows
will. I
about
wish she
that.
was here. It would've
It's
been
funny
Yeah.
because I wonder where I ever heard it. I might have
You
heard
got,
it.
maybe I told you that.
No, I feel like I read it somewhere. I'm like, oh, that's
Because this was years and years ago, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting. That's why they dance like that." So
Well,
it didn't
find
look
out.
like they were dancing. Of course, they were probably.
Now,
It looks like I had to go to the bathroom.
I have to go. Now, we talked about books, but do you guys have any favorite musicians besides the Chieftains?
I love the Chieftains, and I don't know of other musicians that are, particularly do Irish music, but I grew up on Irish music.
Oh, you're-
Why are you pushing it?
Because I don't want you to see the names that I wrote for my musician.
Oh,
Go ahead. Let me see if you have some of the ones on my list.
I have Sinead O'Connor. who I love.
Okay, yeah,
And
she's
Van-
good.
I was going to say, were you going to mention? You love Van Morrison.
Oh, okay. See, I don't consider that Irish music, though.
No, but musicians.
Oh,
Irish
okay.
Well, we're
musicians.
forgetting U2.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, exactly.
Enya.
All right, I was
I'm not a
thinking more
fan of
along the
Enya.
lines, I like Enya too,
Yeah.
but more along the lines of the Irish songs, because I grew up with them. Like the one that I still know all the words to was called Mother Malone, because that was my maiden name, and Mrs. Fogarty's Christmas Cake, and all these Irish songs we always, sang them.
Who else?
With my
Oh, no,
dad
I
pretending
could
to
go
be
on
Irish.
and on. I mean, the Cranberries. I can go on.
Oh, I love the Cranberries. Are the Pretenders also? No, they're not. They're American, I think.
So.
Yeah.
No.
But the Cranberries, I love that song "Linger."
Oh,
It's one of my favorite
Didn't
songs.
she die?
She did.
Yeah, the lead singer.
Yeah. And then what about actors and actresses?
Gabriel Byrne.
I know we did see Gabriel Byrne.
Love
I know
him.
his face, and I can't think of it. Farrell.
Colin Farrell?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
You like
him.
Colin Farrell, right?
I love. Yeah, he's
Oh,
good.
yeah, I thought you liked him.
Oh, yeah, no, he's nice.
Who else?
Oh, no, just, no, I like Colin Farrell. I just don't gush like that. That's not me.
Yeah.
You know, you have Liam.
Well, I'm not talking about having crushes on them, but
yeah.
good actors.
He's got Liam Neeson.
Oh, I
yeah.
love him, and I love those movies. And my kids always make fun of me because I love that movie Taken and Taken 2 and Taken 3. They say, "Mom, how do you watch them?" I say, "Because I love Liam Neeson."
You have Maureen O'Hara, who I thought was so beautiful growing up. I thought she was probably one of the prettiest women.
Yeah,
She was naturally beautiful.
Oh, I remember seeing her in remember the original Parent Trap?
Yes, that was Haley Mills was in that.
Yeah, but she played the mother.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right.
She was so beautiful. You have Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. I said
Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, Jackie.
Oh, I love Jackie Gleason. He was
Brosnan.
Irish, yeah.
Was it? What?
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, Jackie Gleason was Irish.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's so many.
I know.
The Dakota families.
Jimmy Cagney. Jimmy Cagney was also Irish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about you guys? You like anything? How about you two? Our audience was talking to the camera.
You too? Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Which
The
you two?
redheaded late night TV.
Oh,
Conan O'Brien.
Oh.
He's Irish American, right? He's not from Ireland.
Yeah. Well, he's still Irish.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever seen? What's his name? I can't believe I'm. Oh, forget it. I don't remember. He doesn't have a show. Oh, Graham Norton. He's.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's
Talk show.
but
Talk show host.
he's Irish, but he was from Ireland.
Oh, okay. I know who he's the guy with the glasses.
No.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay, now he's hysterical. I wish they showed that.
I think I'm thinking of John Oliver.
Oh, yeah, no, he's from England.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was my spiel. Go to Ireland if you can. You'll never have the same experience twice. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I feel very blessed, excited, and grateful to be part of a larger Irish family.
I know, it's so interesting.
really
I
am.
know.
Yeah.
To be able to go to another country and stay there and really
Get yourself
really get to
immersed.
know. That's right. You're immersed in
It's
the
different than
local
going as a,
stuff
on vacation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
That's
actually.
awesome.
Well, we just found out on Ancestry because my niece Jackie keeps, she keeps on finding cousins all over the world. And one of our, I think she's a pretty close cousin too, related to us from my father's mother's side, because my father's mother was Irish. And she lives in London. So Maureen said, Peg, she's really nice. Her name is Murphy. And I said, I don't know, I'd be a little bit scared. What if she's
you
like
should
weird?
go.
I said, and Carol's going to be with me. So she said, well, go to lunch with them.
Or meet for coffee.
Yeah.
Something. That would be
So
nice.
anyway, because she was pretty excited to find us. And,
Wow.
I forgot her first name, but her last name is Murphy.
And that's what's so interesting is that, like you said, like they came across here and there's still a lot of family here and there's so many family members down the line you don't even know you have, which is so interesting to learn. And sometimes maybe you don't want to know them, and sometimes they don't want to know us. But it's it was a fun topic today.
Yeah, we had to do something.
Yeah, no, we have to. It's like we haven't done a whole year of podcast yet, but we do try to keep it with the theme.
Yes.
And so this was a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Well, we all learned something, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I hope we did it not too badly.
I think you two learned. Well, how come you didn't finish yours?
Oh, I finished mine. It was delicious.
finished mine.
Okay,
And I
because it
think I
started
liked
getting
it.
a little cold.
Oh, no.
I like my coffee very hot. hot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and it started getting too cold. And
I drink mine so fast that it
I
didn't
know.
get-
I know. Well,
But there is hot tea.
I can make you another one.
I did. Oh, don't go.
Oh, I'll have a little tea.
I'll pour you
Should
some
I
tea.
end?
Oh,
Look at these beautiful little teacups.
why, thank you.
Just like a half a cup is good.
Half a cup if you
And they're
don't
making
mind.
fun because it says Irish tea on the packet. And where is it from, Anya? Where it is? Kenya?
Kenya, Asia, and China.
So it's not. That's enough. That's enough. I just.
And it's funny because I was like, what's an Irish tea? I said, I always thought Irish tea was just Barry's black tea. But you
Well.
know what? Here we are.
So
It should be
Sláinte.
Guinness.
sláinte.
Sláinte.
Thank you for watching. If you're still with
Thank
us,
you.
and
See
please
you happy St. Patrick's Day.
and submit your questions. Please let us know that you are there. Okay, there we go.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Let's see if I can turn this thing off this time.
I know. Let's
Let's
see.
see.
That's good tea.